Dueling demonstrations expected in Egypt this week. CNN's Reza Sayed joins me live in Cairo, with more about it. Reza.
Natalie, the demonstrations and the protests continue here on Sunday, and they seem to be spreading to cities outside of Cairo. According to the Interior Ministry, during the overnight hours and into the early morning hours, there were demonstrations in the northern city of Damanhur. According to government officials, anti-President Mohammed Morsy protesters tried to attack the offices of the Muslim Brotherhood, and that's when you had Muslim Brotherhood supporters fight back. Several injuries there. Also reports of protests in the city of Asyut. But the focal point of these demonstrations continues to be Tahrir Square here in Cairo. I'm going to step aside for us to give you a live look at what Tahrir Square looks like right now. Not the big numbers that we saw on Friday, but a few thousand people still out here. Most of these demonstrators are peaceful, but this morning we saw a flurry of clashes. Once again, several young men that seemed to be out to cause some trouble, throwing rocks at police officers responding with a barrage of stun grenades, and we've had that type of back and forth here in Tahrir Square. While things unfold here in Tahrir Square, there are a number of moves being made by opposing factions to apply pressure to President Mohammed Morsy. Among the leading pro-democracy activists here in Cairo is Egyptian diplomat Mohammed El-Baradei. He spoke to reporters today, and he wants nothing short of Mr. Morsy rescinding his controversial decrees that he announced on Thursday. Here's what Mohammed El-Baradei had to say.
We are not going to get into a dialogue, unless he rescinds that declaration. There is no middle ground about it. There is, you cannot, there is no room for compromise. I mean, if he wants a dialogue, he has to rescind these measures.
The pressure on Mr. Morsy continued last night with the Judges Club here in Egypt calling for a widespread nationwide judges strike. It's not clear if all the judges in Egypt will heed that call. Remember, many judges here in Egypt do support Mr. Morsy. And of course, you have a call by protesters for 1 million man sit-in and protest on Tuesday. The Muslim Brotherhood, Mr. Morsy's political party, they've also called for a 1 million man protest on Tuesday. Natalie?
All right, we'll be watching it closely. And all the while, it seems that these protests are spilling into the financial sector. The stock market is taking a hit, correct?
Yeah, Natalie, this was the first day that the stock market traded here in Egypt after the controversial decrees were announced on Thursday, and the stock market plummeted by about 6% when it opened. They suspended trading for about a half hour, but it didn't seem to help. A half hour later, when it opened again, it continued to fall. Right now, it's down 10%. And rest assured that Mr. Morsy, the Muslim Brotherhood, his supporters are watching this, because if that continues, if that trend continues, that's going to be added pressure to the president. Natalie?
All right, Reza Sayed for us live, watching it all in Cairo. Reza, thank you.